Welcome to Sports for Supper, live from Sammy's Restaurant at 202 U.S. Highway 90 East in Castroville. Sports for Supper, a weekly look at what's happening in area sports. And now, along with Maury Stein, Dwayne Garza, and Jeff Stivers, here's the host of Sports for Supper, Jared Lucky.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports for Supper at Sammy's, brought to you by Medina Electric Cooperative. I'm Jared Lucky, along here with Maury Stein and Dwayne Garza, and it's good to be back on the air. I know Dwayne's been doing some volleyball, but Maury and I haven't been on the air, I don't think, since March. I think March 21st was the last baseball game I did, and since then we haven't been able to do a whole lot. It's good to be on here. There was a time when we didn't think we would be, and Maury, excited for the football season coming
Absolutely. Really missed the softball and baseball season because I thought both teams had a real good chance of making a long run in the playoffs, but unfortunately COVID-19 put a stop to that. So hopefully, they get that stuff straight and we get a vaccine set pretty quick and move forward.
And hopefully we can keep going with the football season and the volleyball seasons now that they've continued and we don't have any problems that'll hinder that going forward as you see college games getting canceled left and right weekly. Hopefully that's not the case here and we're able to get a season in. I know Dwayne's been doing some volleyball, and Dwayne, it probably feels pretty good to be back on the air also.
Yeah, it does. We're 6 games into the season. It is a little different this year. By this time last year, Lavernia had 13 games rated on their belt because they're 4A, since they're able to start a little bit earlier. So throw that game out the door, and they've been rolling ever since. I mean, these girls have been playing really good, and each game they seem to get better and better. Like I say, they stand at 5-1. Have a big match coming up this Friday against Southwest. It'll be the first district game. Yes, and then they follow it up with a non-district
home or
game.
away?
It is home, and then they follow up with a home game Saturday at noon against Kerrville. That's It's away. Okay, it's away. Next preps is wrong.
Do you have any idea of how the crowd is going to be worked at the home games, or who they're going to let in, or what is?
Letting in a certain amount. I think the total number is 400. Is that correct? I think 400 for the Medina Valley side, or is it total? Okay, and then I think there's 100 or 200 that they're going to let on the visitor side. And each school is different. If you go to an away game, they have their own set of rules. But of all the games that we've been to, they've done a really good job of keeping the fans and the teams safe. Masks are required through the whole game as far as a spectator, and they have the seats sectioned off for where to sit and where not to sit. And as one game finishes, they exit, and then the next group goes in for the next game. As an example, as the JV is playing. After the JV game, then everyone that's watching JV has to leave, and they sanitize the seating and the benches and the balls and everything, and then they let the next group in for the next game. So
with a 400 seating capacity, pretty much anybody that wants to come watch the ball game should be able to watch.
It has not been bad. 400 is quite a few people.
Yes.
I did a count. I think one of the first games, and it was probably 125 or so. So there's room if you want to go out and watch these girls. They're playing really well right now. And they're just getting into the meat of the schedule. So, and like I say, they're rolling right now, so it looks real good.
Great. And you've been doing a great job.
Well, I had a rough start with this new batch of girls. I didn't know some of the names of you guys. I knew your names, but some of them and then you got to learn how to pronounce them, right? So
that's part of it, right?
But it's getting better, and it's been a lot of fun to watch, especially yesterday. They took on Holy Cross, and they beat Holy Cross at Holy Cross's home gym. The third and final set was a close one, but they came out victorious. I think in 6 matches, I think they've lost 4 sets.
Wow.
So 5 sets. 5 sets. Yeah, 3 against Lavernia and 2 against
And let's take a break real quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to one of the coaches and a couple of volleyball players, and we'll have Dwayne introduce them when we come back. Stay tuned on the show tonight. We're going to have Coach Chris is going to be on here later, and he's brought some of the football players, and we should also have Superintendent Rohrbach on here later, and yeah, he's here tonight, so we'll have him on later on. So we have a pretty good show for you tonight. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll return. You're listening to Sports for Supper, brought to you by Medina Electric, and we'll continue in just a moment.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tondre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices. Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper. I'm Jared Lucky with Maury Stein and Dwayne Garza. And Dwayne, you want to introduce the volleyball players and coach that come here tonight?
Tonight we have our assistant varsity coach and our JV head volleyball coach, Coach Perez. And we have Kyla Solis and Alyssa Tholey with us here tonight. We're going to be asking them a few questions. And I guess if we want to get started with Coach, we
Go ahead.
My question to you guys is, with everything that's going on, in the late start, how were y'all able to adjust, or what went on behind the scenes to get things going?
So really, it did take an adjustment period because we've been going normal practice since June. I mean, they opened up our schedule and basically gave us every day we could practice for 2 hours. So from June
again, we started doing our normal 2.5, 3 hour practices with the weight room. So it's been a really long time to have that many practices for that many months without playing, and we're not used to that. Volleyball is usually a really quick turnaround. You get tryouts within a couple days. You have your first scrimmage, and this time we had 3 to 4 months to really sit and look at the players for the girls to practice and get their touches. So we're really excited now that we have games, and we did have that adjustment period to where we are playing other teams, and we're not just doing in-team scrimmages, so it makes practices a little different because now we know things to work on, right? It's not just little things that we see in practice, it's big things we see in the game.
Well, and you're having to make adjustments on the fly now because you don't have all this time to practice and fine-tune the players, and I see a lot of coaching actually going on during the match, because you're learning as you go because you don't have all this time prior to get going. So.
Right. Our preseason was super limited, and we're still having another game on Saturday against Tybee, even though we're starting district on Friday, just to get some extra touches. And it's a matter of kind of seeing what we need to work on and then just getting them experience before the games really start to matter for district.
Well, and it's still affecting some of the teams, is it not? Am I wrong? We had South San scheduled for last Tuesday night.
For Tuesday.
And it didn't happen because they're under still restrictions. They're self-imposed.
Right. So UIL said for school September 7th was the first date, but there was also restrictions that if the school did not start, so they were not in person before September 7th, they had to wait 2 weeks before they could have their first game. So since we were in person, we were okay to go ahead and start games September 7th because we had already been in school in a practice session.
So the Holy Cross match was an afterthought.
Correct.
So you were fortunate enough to pick that up, but that's good.
Yes.
So why is it the 2 weeks?
That's the UIL implementation. So a lot of the schools in San Antonio that decided to wait till either September 7th or even October 6th to go in person, UIL said, well, if the school is going to make that decision, maybe they're a high case for COVID, and if they can't go to school, then they're obviously not going to be able to play volleyball. So there's a lot of San Antonio schools that had schedules that are kind of being makeshift and remade, or we had to pull some games and switch because they're not allowed to start till maybe this week, just because of those UIL restrictions.
So up until that first match against Livonia, y'all could not scrimmage anybody besides your own team?
We, JV and freshmen, to have Seguin to scrimmage the Saturday before. Varsity did not. It was planned for, but the varsity had a case. The Seguin varsity had a case of COVID, so this Seguin varsity had to quarantine. That was like their last 2 days of it. So they were able to play them on Friday, but they actually didn't get to scrimmage. So varsity actually had to stay on Saturday and scrimmage themselves to do an inter squad while JV and freshmen went. So that was really the only scrimmage we got. And even varsity didn't quite get that opportunity either. So Tuesday was the first time we really went to a gym, had referees, and actually played a legitimate competition.
So there was no fire. It was straight to the frying pan.
It really was.
Wow.
It was a sink or swim moment.
Yeah.
Well, and since we have you here and you're the JV coach, talk a little bit about your JV team.
Oh, my JV, I was super excited because I had them as freshmen last year.
And you have all sophomores, is that correct?
Correct. Yes, so I have all sophomores, all the upperclassmen are on varsity, and it was really exciting to have the same group of girls again. We did have one new transfer come in, but I think it was just we already had a game plan. We knew each other. We already had the relationship built, so we kind of started ahead compared to having a new coach and a new team to kind of build up and learn from each other. So we already had these expectations. We had the party plan. We call them hook 'em as our plays. We already had our plays and everything to go, and so we really got to start a lot quicker, I want to say, than maybe some other schools that are shifting and kind of recreating their teams and whatnot. So I'm super excited. We've had some tough, close games, and I think we're learning where our weaknesses are, and we have a lot of strengths. It's just a matter of now playing consistent.
Yeah,
so.
And they looked really good last night, too. It's the first time I've seen them play because we haven't been able to go in the gyms, and they've been playing separate from the varsity. But they're playing really well, and you've been highly motivated. Is that the word to say?
I think that's a good word.
Especially last night's match.
I wanted to ask her, you know what yellow means? What is yellow card?
I
What
think
does that
yellow
mean?
means it's supposed to slow down.
Just means caution, I think.
Caution?
Yeah.
Gosh, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so yellow card basically means, hey, coach, chill out. Maybe take it down a notch.
I love it, by the way.
I
Yeah.
do too.
I think that's awesome.
So
and I
basically,
think
I
that-
just had to sit in my chair.
that lights
You
a
got
fire.
time out.
I did.
That's all right. It lights a fire, and the girls responded. They went to three sets and took it at the very end and went back and forth. It's like watching a.
What was the
prize
score
fight.
in the
It
final
was
game?
20
It was 25-23.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I won. Or actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. It was 26-24 because at one point it was 24 even.
All three sets were like a prize fight, just trading punches. It was fun to watch. So congratulations on the win and congratulations on your JV squad this year.
Thank you.
Players?
Girls,
Yeah, go ahead.
straight in
First.
Okay, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Foley. I'm a libero, and I'm a senior.
You're a senior and you are the libero. And
Yes, sir.
explain what a libero does.
So a libero is
And
basically
by the way, it's libero, not libero. We're from down south.
yes, libero. So a libero is basically the designated DS, and DS is a defensive specialist. So besides serving, my only job on the court is just to pass. So I can't play front row. And so I can go in for both middles, but I can't serve for both of them, depending on what rotation she puts me in. And so basically, I just get back there in the back row with my different colored jersey on and do my job.
And
Just
explain-
dig and dig, right?
Yes, sir.
Explain why the different color jersey.
So it's mostly for switching because libero doesn't have to go up to the line. And so that can get kind of confusing for like the score people. So it's basically letting them know that I am running into the backcourt and so that's not counted as a substitution.
Yeah,
So
libero
it basically
can
just
basically
to
check
point
in.
out.
Yeah, they can check in the back row anytime, and they know that it's a libero because she always wears the off-color jersey, and they don't have to keep track of it basically.
So they don't have to come in and serve first before they come into the game.
We can. It's basically just what the
But
coach.
you don't have to.
I don't have to. No, I can go in for both middles or one, and I don't have to serve for either of them, or I can serve for one of them.
Best defenders as far as digging balls in the back row, and so it's kind of an honor to be a libero,
Yes,
to
sir.
be in the back row and to be switching out and to be in the action. So congratulations on your earning
Thank
the
you.
libero spot, by the
I
way.
definitely try to work my hardest to keep that spot.
And let me say, last night, is it last night already? Yeah, it was last
Yes.
night.
Yes, sir.
We were all running together. The back row did a great job.
Thank you.
As far as getting balls up, I didn't see very many balls that got away,
No.
and it gave an opportunity to the big girls up front to get a lot of kills. And by the way, you were outstanding killing the last couple of games, especially last night. So yeah, y'all been doing a great job all the way around, and each game, y'all guys seem to get better and better.
Thank you. I definitely think that our serve receive has gotten to be amazing, and I'm very proud of us with how we
the serve
do.
receive was really good, especially last night. Like I said, I didn't see many balls that were shanked or missed. And I try to explain this to my daughter, my youngest and my oldest, when she was playing. If it's a close game, say 25 to 25, there's 50 mistakes that just happen in that set. You know, you just every point is attributed to some sort of mistake. So there's going to be mistakes. So. And they limited them to very few last night and did a great job, and the last few games have been like that. So
Thank you.
So
that's off.
when you dig the ball, you just want to pass it to the
I pass it so we have
Front row or-
targets. So we have our setter that comes in from right back, and there's like a designated area that you want to get the ball to every single time you pass. So that's basically the goal, is to get to that area of the court so that it's easiest for setter to be able to set all three of your hitters. And so pretty much like that depends on like how fast you need to move your feet and how you need to turn your platform and all of that just to get it to that one spot in the court.
And she not only has to dig the ball out or receive the
You
serve,
gotta
she has
make-
to control it and
right.
pass it to the setter. So it's just not getting the ball up in the air. She's actually trying to pass it somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty difficult when if you would be on the opposite side of Kylie having to return a facial that she's given one of the other players.
She gave one last night.
So, I mean, just to be back there and just keep it in play is a big
Yeah,
accomplishment.
absolutely. Well, good. Now we want to slide the microphone over, and we'll talk to Kyla Solis. Kyla, finally a senior.
Yes.
You've been playing on the varsity since you were a freshman, so
Yes, sir.
we've seen you a lot of years. We don't want to get rid of you, but we know you're going to be on your way soon. Tell us how you see this team as opposed to the other teams that you played on.
I think this year we definitely have a younger team. Last year we had 6 seniors, so we lost a lot of seniors, and we have a lot of juniors on our team now. But I still think we're a really strong team, and we have a lot of girls that can play multiple positions, so we're never
Yes.
gonna run out of a position.
Do you see yourself as being more aggressive this year?
Yes, sir.
Because I've seen that too. One thing I've noticed, and going back to Miss Stoley here, you're getting some really nice sets, and it starts with a pass, of
Yes.
course, and so you're able to really control the ball. And last night, Deb, she had some kills that went straight down. You know, just maybe 3 feet past the net, but straight down. So hats off to the setters for setting her up and giving her some.
And who are
opportunities.
those? Who are the setters?
Well, Aldridge is one, and the other is Sotelo. Yes, Sotelo and Aldridge. They
And Cat.
and Cochran. That's right. Cochran's a starter. So they have 3 setters that rotate. I'm still learning the names, by the way. And they took turns and they do rotations. And as far as they almost all do rotations, and they do a really good job of setting you guys.
Yes.
So on the starting 6, how many returners are on there to start the
we have
game?
1, 2, 3. 2?
Two.
2. Oh,
2.
that's me and
McCool.
Alyssa.
Wow, that's a big
and
turnaround.
Nicole. Yeah, she's a junior, but
But
yeah,
as
we
far
have
as
3.
starters go, it's just you and Spencer. correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That is a big turnaround.
It is a big turnaround, but some of those juniors have really stepped up, and we have a sophomore that's stepping up right now too. And Haley Hurtado is doing a really good job. She's getting some rotation time in, and she had some outstanding plays the last few matches.
Well, maybe that's because she had a good freshman coach last year.
It could be something to do with it.
She was actually on JV.
Oh, okay.
I'll take all the credit.
Okay.
No, that girl is just a hot ball of fire. So she's definitely
So did you have a summer season? Did y'all actually do any club at all?
No, sir, we didn't. My club season ended in March,
So
and we usually go till July.
you usually go till July, and then
Yes,
it's
sir.
only like a week off, and then you start the dig it. No, dig it goes first, and then the
Oh
club.
yeah, and like at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. So you usually have a lot of volleyball going on, and this time y'all just went raw right in. In one way, I guess it may be good because it keeps you kind of fresh. But I guess you'll have to fine tune as you go along. But so far, you guys have been doing a really good job.
Thank you.
Expectations for this year.
Expectations for this year. I have high expectations for this year. I would love to steal first in district and go as many rounds as we can, and making the regional tournament would be a huge accomplishment for
And
us.
district's a little different this year.
I was going to say, who do we
so
have in district
we
this
picked
year?
up Harlandale, McCullum. So it's Southwest, McCullum, Harlandale, Southside, Legacy, Eagle Pass Win, and Floresville. So we lose Uvalde and
Thank you.
yeah,
Oh,
you don't
I'm
have to
sorry.
worry about Uvalde anymore.
Yeah, at least we don't have to go down there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
And you lose. Harlan would be the other
Harlan
one,
was
right?
the other,
And
the
they're
other.
replaced by McCullum
and
and Harlandale.
Yeah. So Harlan moved on to 6A. They're going to have a tough time. So yeah, you want to talk a little bit about what you got coming down the road?
Sure. So I am deciding to graduate early this year. So I'll be graduating in December, like right after our season ends, and then I'll be heading up to Clemson to start
So you're
spring training.
still committed to Clemson.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Good. Congratulations. You're excited
Thank
about
you.
doing that?
Yes, I'm so excited.
How many times have you visited the school?
I went up for a camp after my sophomore year just to like feel it out. I didn't have an offer by then, but then they offered me, and then I took my official visit that November. So I've been twice.
Well, congratulations again. I think
Thank you.
Was there other options that you were considering, or once Clemson made the offer, it was pretty
It
much?
was pretty much sealed. I really loved Clemson. Like, it was amazing when I went.
Good.
Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
girls, coach, thank you all for joining us this evening. And
Yeah, good
hopefully
luck
we
Friday
see you all
and Saturday.
again later on down the road.
When the playoffs
Yep.
are here.
Regional tournament.
There you
There
go.
you go.
There you go.
We'll be here.
And we're going to go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back with, I don't know if we're going to have,
Coach Crisp
I
and the
think
football.
the football on first. And we'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Sammy's Restaurant and Habeas Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Habeas Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Habeas Alsatian Bakery, online at habeasbakery.com.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
We're going to be joined by Coach Chris that we're able to do this.
Yeah, me too.
And I know that you probably had a very, very busy off season. There was a time when it looked like this might not happen, you might not have a season, and then all of a sudden you were playing, and I know you had to kind of scramble around to make a full schedule. Kind of walk us through how we got to this point here this year.
There was a lot of work involved. Constantly monitoring the guidelines that were in place. We were able to start our summer with strength and conditioning camp, which was nice. June 8th, and there were a lot of restrictions, and kind of navigating that was a hairy deal, but it was kind of fly by the seat of your pants. No one had any real answers. And we had a huge turnout, over 530 kids,
Wow.
I think, between the 3 campuses, and we did 3 different sites where we ran those things. And the UIL was very gracious in allowing us to. They loosened some restrictions to kind of help us make up for not having to really get a lot of summer. And so that was the first part, and then just sort of figuring out how it was all going to work. And then once they dropped the bomb on, hey, we're pushing everything back 4 weeks, and it was like, okay, let's find some games. And, fortunately for us, our schedule didn't change too much. We did add some bye weeks into our district, which eliminated 1 game, so we'll only play 9. But that's in the event that we have to make something up. We had in the middle of our district season, and then 1 at the end, just so that we're not having to, have a decision based on, just the inability to play a game. But our non-district schedule pretty much was the same. Northside, we had a game scheduled with Jay. And, the way they adjusted their district schedule, it wasn't going to work for us. So we picked up New Braunfels Canyon, who we'll see Friday. And our scrimmage situation was kind of weird because we had 2 4A teams sets of scrimmage. And of course, they started playing, and it was like, all right. So we drove out to Victoria and had a little scrimmage versus those guys, and it was good. One of those things where you got to see what needs to be fixed, and that's what we've been working on all week.
And I know that you lost some players at some skill positions. Running back and Gibson, your quarterback is gone. Who's going to be stepping in kind of as a big role this year in those positions?
Yeah, on both sides of the ball, we lost a lot of good players, and the thing that's really nice is, and the fact that we've been able to continue with the summer workouts and those kind of things. We've been basically kind of having football practice without pads and going through seeing who we're going to have all summer. And so we've been able to do a lot of evaluation, and we've got a lot of younger kids and seniors stepping in that are going to fill those holes nicely. I think it's going to look a little different. We don't have it. James Gibson was a big old dude. It's hard to bring down, but we've got some guys that can play that spot just as well. That don't necessarily have the same style, but it still work for us. We've got our quarterback. Sam was a backup for Charlie last year. He got a little time here and there, but he's done well. And we've also got some different spots on defense that we do have some experience coming back, and then the younger guys that have stepped up and really look good. And the middle part of it, I think, is pretty sharp. It's the reps that we got to get, and that comes with playing games. So
you lost a lot of the tackles with the linebackers going to be gone, but you have some super sophomores, we called them last year, that visited us a few times on the coaching show.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have players that can fill the role that did it last year already.
Yeah.
And when their number was called, they were there.
Yeah, I'll say that going into the scrimmage last week, I had a lot of question marks in my mind about how everyone would fill those roles, and how much different it would look. And you start a scrimmage off, and you feel like you look pretty polished. And defensively, I was very, very surprised, and in a good way. That we have lost none of our aggressiveness or tenacity. And, again, there's things we got to fix. We made a couple mistakes, but that's all. It's mental stuff. Offensively, move the ball, but the mental errors, the lack of execution on a couple things, but it wasn't an ability thing, and so that makes you feel good. And so those are things we can fix. That's our job.
On the offensive side of the ball, or is it 50-50 split? Are we more run, more pass, or?
Well,
I mean, you can't say, I mean, they got to defend you, so it doesn't really matter, right?
No, yeah. I mean, it's not like we're going to have any secrets here. I'm always about ball control and being smart about what we do and kind of taking what they give us, and we're gonna it's not a drastic change from what we did last year. We will be more able to do some more things formation wise because of the people that we have, and I think that's one of the things I really like about running the spread is that depending on your personnel, you can do different things.
Yes.
So we're making our offense fit our personnel, and I think that we'll have more variety than we had last year. You'll see some different formations, but football is blocking and tackling and executing, and that's all it is. And so you do what you can, and I love running the ball, and so I think if you can establish a run game, you can win a game, and so that's always going to be a focus for us. But when we got through it, we got some guys that can get it done. So if that's what they're giving us, that's what we'll take.
We had some coaching moves too this year, right? What kind of moves did that transpire between this year and last year?
Last year we had we came in. When I got hired, there was a lot of different things. We had to move some guys around just to kind of get through, and we made some moves to put some guys in some spots that we thought would be a little bit more advantageous for us. We lost a lot of guys defensively. Coach Garza moved back over to the defensive line because he brings a wealth of experience, and we had some coaches maybe that were out of position. Your coach has got to be in the right position, just like your kids got to be in the right position. And so after learning, I think we had 6 new coaches on staff last year, and we had 6 guys that were kind of hanging around. And so we moved dudes around, and it seems to have worked out.
Any new coaches?
We got one new coach, Coach Abraham Vargas, who's coming over. He was the athletic director and head coach over at Runge's.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he's brought a wealth of experience, a lot of attention to detail. He's working with the running backs.
With the running backs?
Coach Neely's coming in. He worked with the receivers last year. He's taken on the offensive coordinator role. The rest of us, it's pretty much the same. So I've kind of taken a step back a little bit. I'm not going to be calling plays every down, and I've stepped into a more special teams role, which is something I'm kind of infatuated with. So hopefully that, you can blame me if it goes bad, I guess. On the special teams side, so.
Well, the special teams were strong last year. I know we got a lot of fumbles and a lot of big hits on special teams, so hopefully it'll play a big part.
A bigger part of what we do, so that's kind of our focus.
Well, Coach, you got New Braunfels Canyon coming this week for the first game, and I know they're probably ready to get going because I don't think they won a game last year. They were 0-10. And I'm sure that they want to win that first game, and they probably had this circled since they found out they could play. What are you kind of thinking about for trying to handle them this week?
I'll tell you that you go on to the district they were in. I mean, it's a tough district. They were in there with Judson, Sam Clemens, and Smithson Valley. It wasn't like they were in there with a bunch of slouches. So I know that defensively they're returning 10 of their 11 starters. They're big, they're aggressive, they got a good scheme, and so it's going to be tough. I think offensively they're still trying to figure things out, just like we are a little bit. It may, if I had to predict anything, it's probably not going to be a very high-scoring game, just because it's early in the season. The defense tends to be a little bit ahead of the offenses at this point in the year, but it's going to be a good game, an aggressive game, and like I told some of my kids today, I said I think maybe may come down to special teams. It may come down to one big play here or there, and it could go either way. I think it's a great team to play. It ain't La Vega. I think we got a chance to win, and it's a bigger school and whatnot. But
they are 6A or 5A? They're 5A D1. Okay.
Yeah, and we purposely tried to schedule some things that were a little bit more. They're a little larger than us. Or
Veterans Memorial is one of those.
They're 5AD1 as well.
Yeah.
But they opted up. They'd be 5AD2 had they stayed where they were at. But we scheduled Jay, who's 6A. And it has more, some of it has to do with our sub-varsities because these bigger schools. We have 2 freshman teams. Last year we had 2 JV teams. With COVID, it's kind of changed some of that. But we still had. We still got 2 freshman teams, and sometimes when you play the smaller schools, it's like I got to find another game for the
right.
freshmen. So all these things kind of go into how we pick these games, and of course, travel time and all those things.
Is this the first time we've ever played Canyon? Does anybody know?
No. When I was a junior in high school.
Oh, we have. Okay.
We played them over there before the turf was red.
Oh, that's right. It's a red field.
It's not red anymore?
No, they changed it back.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, Coach, this year districts changed a little bit. Kind of tell us about. I know Floresville moved into this district. Uvalde's out of it. Kind of tell us a little bit about the structure of the district this year.
It's as tough as it's ever been. We still have Bernie Champion, Alamo Heights, Kerrville, Lockhart, and then we've got Floresville's moved in. And Floresville, if you look at their record last year, it may not impress anybody too much, but again, they played in the district with Cal Allen and I think
that's right.
Who was it? Orla
Yeah.
I mean Southside. So they're coming from a bruiser district. A lot of those schools moved up or down, and they're coming into a bruiser district. We lost Kennedy and Memorial and Uvalde. Less schools in the district. We have there's 6 teams. They've got to play 5 games. But there's no game that I think there's no givens anywhere. You're not circling anything and putting a W next to it. It's you got to work every week, and I think that's good. You sharpen the sword that way.
And there were a couple last year that you could kind of do that.
You would
but
think you
you
could.
would think
Yeah.
you could.
You would
Yes.
think you could, and but those are always games that you got to watch out for because they can jump
Yeah.
and get you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, if we're not just honed in every week, it's going to be.
Right.
Get ready.
But you wouldn't want it any other way.
No,
I mean,
I
that's
think that,
the way. Yes.
When I remember I started my career working at MacArthur, and we that was the Northeast District back when Smithson Valley and Judson were in there, and you had to come to work every week, and that 4th place team, one of the best teams I probably worked with was we were a 4th place team coming out of that district, and we made it to the state semifinal just because you saw it every week.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think our preseason schedule's tough, and I think our district schedule's tough, and hopefully that pays off. Either you put yourself in the forge and see what comes out.
So what are the procedures this year as far as a fan coming to a home game? What has changed?
Don't be sick. That's number one. Don't come up there with all kind of problems.
If you have symptoms, stay home.
Yeah, if you got symptoms, hey, log on and watch it. You guys will be presenting this or live broadcasting. So, but you got to wear a mask. You can buy your tickets pre-sale leading up to the game. We do have a reserved amount of tickets for the kids that are participating. We'll sell those reserved tickets on Monday and Tuesday. You can still buy general admission tickets on Monday and Tuesday as well. It's just you can't. If we were to sell out all our general admission tickets on Monday and Tuesday, then you'd have to wait till Wednesday. And anything that we don't get bought from the reserve part will be added to the general admission on Wednesday.
Okay.
Now, when we go away to other venues, everyone has a different stadium setup. The way they've set up their stadium. I think when we go to Kerrville, you're talking like there's a little over 300 tickets right now, unless this order gets changed. But so it's going to change how we do things, and we'll pre-sell those tickets as well. I think Kerrville's all online. All that information every week. One thing that we've been doing as athletic directors, head coaches, is communicating. Every week before something happens, what everyone needs to do. And so it's been a lot of added work on my plate. Everybody. I mean, trying to figure out. Like with Southwest. Well, they're not handling e-cash right now. I was like, well, you're gonna have to sell my tickets if you want to pre-sale. Otherwise, tell your people when they get there, it's get there first come, first serve. But when you walk in the stadium, you still have the mask order on right now, and we're asking people to don't sit in groups of more than 10, and then those groups of 10, you got to be and then that should be family, friends, people you rode to the game with, people you're commonly around, and then make sure you're distancing yourself from other people. But our stadium's got plenty of room in there. I think we ought to be all right. We've cut it down to half capacity. We're going to cap it out, home side, visitor side. Our home games, I hope everybody gets to come and enjoy. And if they can't, and if you're high risk, it's maybe not worth it right now. Maybe
absolutely.
Through the internet.
Yeah, and if
other years.
And it will be a video broadcast.
That's right. I was just going to say.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later on.
Yeah, don't get discouraged if you can't go or you can't get a ticket, because we have options for you on the broadcast network here.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, good luck this season, and I think you brought some players with you here that we're going to talk to here shortly. We're going to take a break, and hopefully we see you again this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
We're going to go ahead and go to a break. You're listening to Sports for Supper, brought to you by Medina Electric, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Oh, thank you guys.
Hey, good luck to you. We're behind you, man.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tandre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices. Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper, and we're joined by four of the football players here, and I will let them introduce themselves to you. So we're going to start down on my right, and if you'll tell us your name, your position, and what year you are at school.
All right, I'm Tyler Mangum. I play free safety, and I'm a senior this year.
I'm Jared Marty. I'm a defensive end, and I'm a senior this year.
I'm Mason Vogel. I'm a wide receiver, and I'm a senior this year.
I'm Jared Lackey. I play offensive line, right tackle. I'm a senior.
And we'll start down here with Mr. Mangum. And so you played on varsity last year.
Yes,
and tell us a little bit about the difference this year and how you had to approach practice different with the virus and how that's kind of affected everything.
There's just a lot more restrictions. You gotta have a lot more discipline in practice. You know, things like the mask and social distancing and everything. Like going through summer workouts, there's a lot of restrictions that we had to go through. And they've eased up a little bit now, but we still have to be careful with masks and social distancing mostly.
And so you don't have to wear them during the game, right, Matt?
You don't have to wear them when you're playing on the sideline. You're supposed to wear
have them on.
Yes,
okay. And tell us a little bit about New Braunfels Canyon coming up here. Have you been able to see any film from them? Is that last year's film that you're looking at?
We've seen one scrimmage from them this year, and they look pretty good. They run a little bit of running offense, and their quarterback's pretty good, so it'll be a tough game for us, but we're ready for it.
You're learning a new position this year, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm playing free safety.
And last year you were
I played bandit, which is our strong safety.
So what's the change like? Better? You like it better, or?
I like playing free safety a little bit better, just because I feel like I can get more involved in the game. I can be pretty much everywhere on the field if I want to be.
But you have played free safety before, though, right?
Yes, sir. I played all the way up until last year.
Okay. So you're good to go.
Yes, sir.
No excuses, right?
No excuses.
So what is your job on the defensive side? What are your reads during the game?
I'll get a run or pass read first, and if it's run, I come up and fill the alley, which is basically you just run inside out and make tackles. And then on pass, I usually have some type of deep responsibility.
So if it's thrown over the secondary, that's your responsibility? You would be the deep person?
Yes, sir.
How far off the ball are you lining up?
Before the play, I'm lining up about 12 yards.
About 12 yards. Does that change hardly at all, or is it pretty standard at 12?
Pretty standard for us right
now. Keys to beating Canyon. What is your main? Do they run more? Do they pass more? What?
They like to run the ball a lot. One of the biggest keys that we're going to have is to be preventing the big play. I don't know if y'all watched the scrimmage or not, but we gave up a couple big plays on defense, and that's something we really focused on this week, and that's going to be big for us this going into.
Whose responsibilities were the big plays?
Everybody's.
Everybody's.
Mostly me. Yes, sir.
There you go. Yeah, number staying the same this year?
Yes, sir. I'll be number 2.
Number 2.
Yes, sir.
And what else are you going to do this year besides football?
I'll be playing baseball and doing track.
Baseball and track. Yes, sir. All right. Well, good luck in all that. Thanks for joining us, and good luck in the season. We hope to see you here again later this year.
All right. Thank you.
And we'll move on to Mr. Marty here, and tell us a little bit about your position and what you're going to see from New Braunfels Canyon.
Well, at the beginning of the summer, I was changing positions. I was going to play middle linebacker, and this coming week, I decided I was going to go back to my original position and go back to defensive end from last year. And I mean, it's a big change because I've been practicing linebacker all summer, but I mean, it's my bread and butter. And
yeah, you're comfortable defensive end. You had a good season last year at it. That's good. I don't see anything different happening with you this year. Good.
So what were the reasons for trying you out at linebacker?
I mean, we had two
just to fill some holes.
Yes, sir. 2 good seniors that left last year and needed guys to play. And
or did they find out you couldn't catch a football and they decided to put you back defensive end?
Unbelievable. So, game plan for Canyon. What are your reads?
I'm reading the tackles, and I'm either reading. I have their tight end over the top, and I'm head up on the tight end. I'm reading the tackle. He has a down block, filling him, and then if I'm pass block, and then rushing the QB.
Are you staying on the same side, or are you going strong side?
I go strong side.
You go to strong side.
The tight end side.
The tight end side. Okay.
So you gonna line up in a 3-point stance or stand up or?
It's like a 2-point stance. I just stand up.
You shade the tight end or head up?
Yes, I like the 2
Heads up with the tight end or outside? Head.
Yes, sir.
How many sacks this year? You did a good job last year.
No clue. Go from week to week.
There you go.
I'm not gonna comment.
No,
So what other sports are you gonna play this year, Jared?
Baseball and track.
Yeah, you guys, well, 3 of y'all really should be looking forward to baseball season this year since y'all were kind of cheated last year. I know Garrison has that feeling that he was cheated too, so hopefully you can make up for 2 seasons and go deep in the playoffs in baseball this year.
Yes, sir.
Outlook for this year, what are the goals?
Win a playoff game. I mean, we struggled the last couple of years winning a playoff game, and we're just trying to make a run. And senior year, go out with a bang.
And kind of both, not to harp on it, but both the last 2 years in the playoffs, I know we were confident going into the
Absolutely.
drive there, thinking, well, this is not going to be. I mean, we should win this one, and both games you kind of underachieved a little bit. That's got to be a goal this year, correct?
Yes, sir. For sure.
But in the meantime, I'm sure you're not looking forward. You're going to take them starting Friday one at a time.
Yes, sir. Hit them in the mouth every play.
Absolutely.
There you go.
You know, honestly, though, that Brenham game last year, that was a good game.
Oh,
that
they
was a
both
great
were.
football game. Yeah, and I actually read an article from a Brenham newspaper guy. The coach said that was probably the toughest game they played all season.
The hardest they've been hit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they were saying, and that's pretty good coming from that district that they're in.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and all right, Jared, thanks for joining us, and
Yes, sir.
We'll move on. And Mr. Vogel, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's your position again?
I'm a wide receiver.
You're a wide receiver, and tell us a little bit about. I just lost my train of thought.
Mason, so is it the same position as you played last year?
Exactly.
This year we are switching to both sides, so we can play both sides. Usually last year we only had one side. We had one side that we were on, but this year coaches want us to go to both sides. And most of this year we're going to be focusing on blocking too as well. We're trying to get our blocks so our backs can get out to the outside, move out. But
So what position is going to be, are y'all going to be rotating plays in again?
Yes, sir.
Is that your position?
3 wide receivers this year rotating in place. It's going to be me, Tanner, AB, and then Troy Thomaselli, which is a sophomore. And he's a pretty good wide receiver too.
That's
Yeah.
Mikey's brother.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
So, what is the difference in receiving a pass last year from Charlie compared to Mr. Clendenin this year? I mean, do they both throw kind of the same tight spiral, or is one more different than the other?
I mean, they're both great quarterbacks, but I've been more comfortable with Sam. I really never played with Charlie, but I've been playing with Sam since 7th grade. So me and him have a pretty good connection. And I've been going to workouts with him this summer and then going into the season. So me and him are both ready along with other wide receivers.
So your favorite pass pattern would be which?
Like my route with Sam?
Yes.
I like slants. That's my bread and butter right there.
Just a little 5-yard slant, and you do the rest afterwards. Three-step.
Get the heck out of there.
So are y'all doing anything different as far as, because you said you're working on blocking a lot this year, different drills?
At a serious point, they want us to get out and block so we can get our backs to get out to the outside and go score.
Great. Okay.
Well, it was pound them up the middle pretty much all the time last year. This year,
That's right.
From what we've gathered, you're going to try to spread out the field a little bit more and use your speed, and that's y'all's job to make sure when they get to the outside, they got the corner.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so would you rather catch a 60-yarder for a touchdown in the air, or would you rather catch a little screen pass right there and run the rest of the way? What kind of?
I want to score no matter what.
Okay. I know some receivers just like the screen passes, those little
Just
balls right there, and like to
do
run
the
it,
rest?
yeah, and act like a running back the rest of the way.
Do you guys know new uniforms this year or same ones or?
New uniforms this year.
Have y'all seen them yet?
Yes.
They look pretty cool.
So what do we
What do they look like?
expecting
Kind of a throwback.
Friday night
Kind of a throwback.
for Friday?
I believe so. It's a black, I think, with the white pinstripe and white and orange pinstripe.
Nice.
With the orange helmet?
No pumpkin heads, huh?
The decal changed to a helmets. So instead of the light orange, we have a chrome decal with the MV and then our numbers on the side as well.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
That'll look
I like
good.
that.
So yeah, it does look good.
Which side is the number on?
I think it's the left side.
Left
Yeah,
side.
it's the left side. Yes, sir.
I like that. It's all the chrome, the black also,
The black, it's gonna be all black, matte black helmet with the chrome MV and chrome numbers.
and black mask.
Right.
I like that.
Well, thanks for
Definitely happy with the uniforms.
What other
yeah.
sports are you playing this
I'll
year?
be running track this year.
What events do you do?
I do the 4x1 and 4x2, and I'll be long jumping. And hopefully this year I can get into some 300-meter hurdles.
So that should tell you, get him the ball 3 yards past the line of scrimmage and let him
Let
run.
it run, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck on your season.
Thank you.
And now we're joined by Jared Lackey.
Yes, sir.
And Jared, I know that your season was kind of cut short last year. How have you bounced back from that injury?
Oh, I believe it's better than ever now. I just had to do a lot of hard work during the off season. And since baseball was shut down, I was able to kind of get my workouts going and try to rehab as best as possible so I can make this season count.
I was actually surprised that when we started doing baseball that you were playing that quick. I was kind of surprised by that, but
Yes, sir.
that should say a lot to the work that you did to rehab that leg.
Just seeing him sit on the other side of the table right now, getting
Yeah,
ready for
exactly.
football season, is a testament to how hard the young man has worked just
Yeah.
to get back to here.
And
we're all behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you going to see from New Braunfels, Canyon, your position?
So from what we've seen on film, their D-line is real aggressive. They like to run upfield. So we're going to try to get our quick game going and get them chopped on the ground as much as possible and have them keep guessing throughout the game. When it comes to their linebackers, they got a pretty good stud that we're going to have to take good angles on. We have to go out and get them. But other than that, their outside linebackers seem to sit back and read run first. So when it comes to our outside zones and stuff, we'll be able to hook them and get on them and get some good yardage.
Who were the linemen this year? Who were y'all replacing from last year? That I know you. One of the big ones is Spencer's gone. How many other spots are y'all filling in for?
So we had to fill our center, which was Spencer, and then our left guard and left tackle.
And who is taking those positions?
This year?
Yes, sir.
Well,
I'm not sure
we've been
yet.
those positions help the team as best as possible, and if we can all do our 1-11.
Dude, it's
we'll
the
be
same
able
question I asked all the linemen last year. How many pancakes?
Jared, you gonna
Hey,
play baseball?
onside kick.
Good.
If the other team is kicking, you can touch it before it gets
Yeah.
10 yards.
Yeah,
Okay?
no, don't worry, the
Okay?
Cowboys-
Yeah, we ain't gonna pull a Cowboys or
God
Atlanta.
damn
Yeah.
it, lucky bastard. Man, that's stupid. You said hold on.
Oh my. Yeah, no, we're back on now. So, sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna regroup now. Sorry, we've had a little technical issue here. We're using a little bit different system than last year, but we will get it panned out, and we'll make sure that next week it's better than.
Did we get cut off before Mr.
A
Lackey said
li-
what would he rather do?
Yeah,
Run block
a
or pass
little
block?
bit, yeah. So go back to that.
Run block or pass block?
It don't really matter. As long as we're occupying a person every single play, we'll be able to succeed as an offense and get drive on the field.
And you're not going to make no predictions on pancake blocks
I'd
tonight?
rather not right now.
No? Okay. What other sports are you going to play this year?
Baseball. Yes, sir.
And you're still gonna pitch?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pitching first base, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the season. Good luck this Friday, and hopefully we see y'all here again later on this year. We're going to go ahead and take a break and come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, brought to you by Medina Electric, and we'll continue in just a moment.
It's got to be
that difficult.
Good luck, guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Good luck, guys.
See y'all.
Take care. Don't shoot at my house anymore.
Good luck. Jared, good luck to you, man.
Jared.
Yeah, was he peppering you?
No.
I told him.
I left after that. I wasn't really there.
All the birds are flying. So who picked the new uniforms? No, they were. All the birds are flying. I pulled in and I heard. Supposed to look pretty sharp. Are they old school? Shots and everything. Are they old school? And that's what they're saying. They're a little bit old school. Tim and Clay. Nice.
You know what?
I
was only there for a little bit. The dog didn't like it.
I love it.
I mean, they fit like
I didn't know they
new
were
uniforms. You know,
I
like
wonder.
they're all
Right.
tight and
Right.
everything else, but it's I can't remember what the color scheme
Unplug
is. But
this
it's
all together.
That's got to be good for these 5 wins. It's
loud
loud
as
as
hell,
right?
When you see the orange chrome kind of emblem.
Ever. Yeah. We're back here at Sports for Supper, and sorry for the little technical difficulty there, but we are here with Superintendent Rohrbach. And Superintendent, I know that, we ended last year in a kind of different fashion.
That's right.
We started this year in a different fashion. Kind of talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. Like you said, we did end last year very different than we thought we would. We left for spring break thinking all was right with the world, and then we had to go to remote learning to finish out the school year, and it was tough, but the teachers did a really great job. Kids did a good job, and we finished the year strong. Over the summer, we weren't sure what we were going to be told by the state as far as opening school, but we knew we had to come up with plans for delivering instruction remotely if that was the way we went. And ultimately, the state said you can return in person, but you have to offer a remote option. So the board chose to open school for those that wanted to come back in person, and the rest of the kids were able to stay at home and get remote instruction. And we had about 41% of our kids come in person to start the school year. And so far, so good. Things have run really well. I know the teachers are working hard, but they've done a really, really good job juggling, at-home learning and in-person learning. We sent out a form to parents last week asking them what model their kids would take for the second 6 weeks, which starts not next week but the week after. And we've got almost 1,000 kids coming back from remote learning to in-person learning. So we'll be at about 57% in person to start the second 6 weeks.
Just real quick, before we go, and I'm going to back up a little bit. And I just want to say thank you and commend you guys of the way you finished last year, because I had 2 seniors. And getting them back to the graduation and doing the ceremonies and all the stuff y'all do with them at the end of the year gave them some sense of closure. So I just want to say thanks and commend you guys for doing a great job for finishing the senior year out for those guys.
I appreciate that. That was a lot of teamwork, and was really glad that we were finally able to have a graduation ceremony for those kids. It was great to see. I'm really glad we were able to do that. Into this year, we are in our 5th week of school, and we have been very fortunate in that so far we have only had 8 positive COVID cases in the district on our 7 campuses. Today we have, of those 8, 3 are active cases, 5 are recovered cases. We've had no spread in the schools, so that's really good to see moving forward. Our custodial staff has just been phenomenal. If it gets touched, it gets sanitized, and they just do a phenomenal job making sure those schools are clean and that everyone's safe. And the kids have been amazing. You would have thought with young kids, kindergartners, first graders, pre-K, masks would have been an issue. Hadn't been an issue. High school kids, maybe an issue. Hadn't been an issue. So things are running pretty well considering the circumstances that we're dealing with.
What confuses me is it's got to be hard for the teachers. I'm still trying to figure out how they can split their time with the kids that are in class.
It's tough,
and the ones that are not. I mean, how do that's got to be tough.
It's tough, and we've had to do some creative scheduling on campuses. At our elementary campuses, as much as we could, we've got teachers that are dedicated to remote learning and teachers that are dedicated to in-person learning.
Well, that was my question.
Yeah.
They're not split.
No.
I mean, there's not one teacher that is trying to do both at one time, is there?
A few, yes, at the elementary levels. But at the secondary levels, it's harder because those folks are specialized. And, you've only got so many calculus teachers. So what they did at the secondary campus, particularly at the high school, was totally rearrange the schedule to where you had, for the most part, core classes together, electives together, and then those teachers that teach core have extra planning time in the day, or what we're calling office hours, to work with those kids that are remote.
Okay.
So some creative scheduling, but it's still not easy.
No.
I mean, it's tough. Our teachers are working their
I
their
can
tails
just,
off.
Yeah, I can just imagine the amount of work that's going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
to get it started and right down to the custodial part as far as sanitizing and stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
there's got to be a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes.
It's been phenomenal. Our staff is just amazing. There's no two ways about it. Teachers, custodial staff, facilities, support staff, everybody's really pulling their weight and doing what needs to be done for kids and to keep everybody safe. It's really good, and the parents have been great too. That first day of school, we told kindergarten parents, you're not going to walk your kid to the classroom, and that's kind of a traditional thing.
Oh,
To
absolutely.
the classroom, and we didn't have any pushback. At elementaries, we've in the past allowed parents to come have lunch with their kid if they want to, and we had to put a stop to that, for safety's sake. And the parents have been great, very, very supportive. It's been good.
So how do you see? And you were in the stands last night at the football game. How do you see that gradually getting different, or getting? Because it went smooth last night.
It went very
of course,
smooth
that was
last
an
night.
8th grade
Right.
ball game, and the crowd wasn't nearly as big, but everybody was in. Everybody was doing exactly what
That's
they were
right.
supposed to be doing.
They were, and Friday night will be our experiment night. We'll see what works and what doesn't work, and then we'll make adjustments for the next week. But I think Coach Crisp and his team have put a good plan into place for Friday night. If we see people not wearing their masks, we're going to remind them that the UIL requires it, and then we'll deal with it if they still refuse to. The UIL's come down pretty hard on the schools that already started, and there was no social distancing and no mask wearing, and the UIL put their foot down and said, that you will follow these rules. So we'll enforce them to the best of our ability. But we got great people here in the Medina Valley, and I'm certain they'll do what we ask them to do.
I haven't heard, because I guess I haven't paid that much attention because I don't have a child going to school right now. Is all the sports right now, are they able to take place? Like cross country,
Yes.
tennis, all that,
Yes.
everything's being able to do something right now?
Right.
Okay.
And while a lot of school districts aren't allowing their remote kids to participate in athletics, we are.
Okay.
We made a decision early that they could, certain guidelines, certain rules. They have to be present for the athletic period. They have to be present for the after-school practice, and it's working. We've had success with it, so didn't want to deny those kids the opportunity, and so far so good.
So there are some school districts who said if you remote learn, you can't participate. Okay.
Correct.
And that's just because they test you when you come into school or something, or what?
I think they were just concerned about spread coming from outside. But I think with what we've put in place, we've been able to mitigate that and haven't had any issues so far.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about the projects you have going on at this school. Anything from the big MV now up front all the way to the new buildings and stuff we have out there.
You got it. So if you've driven by the high school, you've seen that huge concrete MV out there in front that kind of finishes the high school. It will be painted, the colors that are on the school logo, and then there's a huge panther that's cut out of metal that will be mounted to that.
Wow.
So it'll look like our logo for the school district. We did finish the addition to the high school, the last wing on the high school this summer. Kids are in there now. Beautiful addition to the high school, and that's the last addition to this high school. So the next step will be a second high school down the road. We're adding on to the Performing Arts Center right now. It's about 6,000 square feet. There'll be a dance studio in there, a scene shop, room that we really needed. And then, of course, Ladera Elementary is going up. That's in the Ladera subdivision off 211. Beautiful campus. That should be finished in April, and will be open for next school year. So lots of projects going on. And then in the last bond package, the voters also authorized elementary number 6. The board did name a location for that at the board meeting this week, which is the silos there at 90 and Masterson Road. So that will move into a design phase fairly soon. Construction will start when it's appropriate, but lots of projects going on in the district. Yeah. It's just the growth is coming, even though it's not as big a growth this year so far, and it's all due to COVID. We're still up about 160 kids over last year. Last year, by this time, we were up well over 200 kids. But the growth is coming. There's no slowing it down. We get a quarterly demographic study. We have a demographer that we've hired, and home sales have not slowed down. Home building, Medina Valley ISD will have a record number of new home starts this year, about 1,200 new home starts in our school district. Yeah. So the growth is coming. It is, and I get asked all the time about a second high school. At current growth, it has to open in 6 years.
My favorite renovation of everything has been the press box.
Oh yes, the press box.
Because if you haven't been up there,
I have not.
There's no petitions in between windows. It's one solid glass. It is just you can see.
You can actually see.
Yes,
up there now.
It is unbelievable. And thank you for getting that done. It is nice.
It turned out really nice.
It really is nice.
So lots of good things going on.
So game experience, what's the situation? I don't know if you know the answer to this, but the band, the pep squad, the cheerleaders, how is that affected?
At our games, they'll all participate at our home games. Some of the schools that we're playing on the road are not allowing visiting bands, visiting dance teams, those kind of things. And then we'll have to evaluate on a game-by-game basis going down the road just to see where we are COVID-wise. Pep rallies right now are virtual. Our pep rallies are amazing. Hopefully we can get those going again, and sometime in the season.
Huge difference because, like again, your pep rallies are outstanding.
Pep rallies are amazing, and we just can't right now. So this week the cheerleaders are putting together a virtual pep rally. We did that at our middle schools this week, and the principal said it went really well. But hopefully we can return to pep rallies at some point this year because I know the kids look forward to those a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
And they make a huge difference. So
the parents look forward to that.
Yeah,
also.
that's true. That's very true. They're great events. They really are. But things are good. We're making progress.
Well, I can honestly say that I have been very well pleased since you've taken over. You've done a tremendous job, and I have not heard one negative thing since you've been in charge, and I want to thank you for that because we needed it. No, it just the word around it's welcomed. I mean, it's a fresh of breath of
fresh air.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
wonderful.
That. I appreciate
it's wonderful.
It's a great place to be.
We wouldn't want you anywhere else.
Well, the loyalty in this community is just there to support it all too.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
It's all community based.
That's right. Great place to be.
Yep. And any last things before we?
Just looking forward to a great year of athletics and watching our kids participate and compete. And we got awesome kids. No two ways about it. We got awesome kids, and it's always fun to go watch them. I got to go watch that 8th grade middle school football game last night, and that was so much fun to watch.
It
really was.
First matchup between Loma Alta and Medina Valley. Yes.
8th grade's final score was 8-6.
And Loma Alta was on the 3-yard line getting ready to first and goal, and it was a goal line stand. It was a great game.
It was exciting. It
great
really
game.
Was, so.
Wouldn't have wanted it anyway. The best thing that could have happened is if it had been 8-8. But it was 8-6. So there you go.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Now, just looking forward to a great year.
Yep.
I encourage everybody to visit our website, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. We've always got updates there, and on our website, we've got our COVID page that we call Strong Start. Anything you want to know about our COVID response is there, and we update it regularly. So visit our page, and if I can ever be of assistance to anybody listening, let me know. My email address is public on the website. Shoot me an email.
Well, the newsletter is going to come out again, online emails.
Which newsletters?
The ones that talk about all the activities going on and.
From the campuses, yes. Campuses have their newsletters. Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us.
You
it's
bet.
Always a pleasure to have you on here, and hopefully, this school year can keep going and we don't have any hiccups.
That's my hope.
Yep.
That's my hope.
Yeah, closer to normal. The closer to normal we can get, the better.
That's right.
And I will not talk politics, but I will say everybody get out there and vote. It is important. If you vote, then you can complain who wins or loses, and if you don't vote, then don't complain. That's all I got to say.
Very true.
And that's from school board all the way on.
All the way up, everything.
Well,
Right.
Well, thank you for joining us.
You bet.
We appreciate you coming out and giving us your time, and we'll talk to you later on this season.
Sounds
hopefully.
good. Thank
and
you all.
We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back to talk about some things this year and set up the game Friday night and some of the volleyball coming up also. Yep. And so we'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Sports for Supper, brought to you by Medina Electric, and we'll continue in a moment.
MVBN. Sammy's Restaurant and Habeas Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Habeas Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Habeas Alsatian Bakery, online at habeasbakery.com.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tandre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices. You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper, and we had volleyball, football, and Superintendent Rohrbach on here this evening and talking about some things with the school district and what's going on there and the things they put in place for their COVID response and all that kind of stuff. I'm just happy that we're able to broadcast some football games again because, you know, there was a time when it looked like we were not going to be able to do football, volleyball, anything for a while there. And I'm just glad that we're able to do that. And we got the first game coming up this week. It's a little delayed, but at least we're going to have a season. And first game coming up against New Braunfels Canyon. And Dwayne, who do the volleyball have this week?
Well, they have the opening district.
Yeah, that's
Friday
right.
Against Southwest, and then they turn around Saturday and they play at noon against Kerrville in Kerrville. So they're going to be rolling to have a lot of games.
So we will be simultaneously doing each one at the same time.
Friday night. Yeah, so Dwayne will be doing volleyball, and then we'll be there to do the football games.
And
also.
both of them will
They're both
each
at
have
home.
video.
And they're both at home.
Yes. And both at home.
Yeah,
so
they're both at home. So
you got your option. Go and watch the volleyball, and
that is one of the things
come
that we
over to watch football.
We do need to talk about now is that UIL told us that we could go ahead and give video for the football games
on
Fridays now. So you will be able to actually watch the game on the YouTube channel, and that's for this year. We don't know how it'll be going down the line, but because stadiums are limited to half capacity and not everyone can go, they're making it to where people are able to still view it by not being there. And so we will have a camera set up, and we'll be able to show you some video. You can still just listen to it if you want to, but you can actually watch it on our YouTube channel.
Well, and you can do both at the same time. You can put different windows up, and you can have one showing the volleyball game, one showing the football game.
Yep.
And that is at this website that they're on right now, correct?
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel. Yeah, it's our YouTube page at Medina Valley Broadcast Network. So if you just go to YouTube, type Medina Valley Broadcast Network, it'll pop up our most recent broadcast. It'll say live on it when we're live, and you can just click on it and go from there.
Yeah, and make sure you check on it just prior to the game, because it's not. It doesn't give you a link early on. I think it's only about 30 minutes before, or.
No, the links have already been sent out.
Okay, so the links are going to be on Twitter and on the website, right, and the Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the athletic department's already sent out the links, I believe.
Okay, so that's live video.
We'll be sending out links like on Monday for the whole week.
Okay.
Okay, so links will go out Monday for the whole week. For
That's for football, volleyball, whatever we're doing that week.
That will be sent through the athletic department email blast.
Okay, so that'll go through the athletic department email. Okay,
Well-
so look for those, and look on Medina Valley Broadcast Network, Twitter, Facebook, and on the website. All that information will be there also. And I believe Jeff will post it, the links also on all those social media pages.
Yeah, they'll be on there, and you can just click on those. It'll take you right to it, and then you can listen in and watch.
Well, if there is one testament to how the volleyball girls looked and how the Panther football team looked, they haven't missed a beat, because those 4 young men that sat in front of us, they're solid. They haven't slacked off during this time where they could have. And you
Well,
can
they didn't
tell
have anything else to do.
But you can just tell that they were working on just the same as the girls. You can tell that even when they had to do it on their own, they put in the effort.
Well, and the other thing is you got to remember that some of these kids that were playing baseball and stuff last spring, all of a sudden they didn't get the rest of their season. They haven't been able to do anything since then. I'm sure that's a little bit of motivation when they found out that they could play, and that there's a good chance that, stuff could happen. The season could get canceled halfway through. So I'm sure that they're wanting to play every game like it might be their last.
Yeah, and I know that's in the back of their mind because it happened once already.
Yep.
And it's a way to get away from everything, So they're looking forward to sports just like the whole community is. It's a way to get out, a way to get away from all the bad stuff that's going on, and whether it's political or health-wise, all the stuff that we've got going on right now. One thing that we can focus on, and everyone can come together on, is sports right now. Whether it's at the Pee Wee level all the way up to pro sports, and it just brings everyone together.
Well, and one thing, Dwayne, to kind of jump on what you're saying there, and what Dr. Rohrbach had said and what Coach Crisp had said earlier, is they have this to look forward to right now. But if the adults don't take care of business and do not socially distance and do not take care of our community, wear masks at the games, wear masks when you're in public, this could all be cut short for them again. So, we all have to do our part, and being adults is one of those things. Let's be good examples for all these kids.
And raising a kid in normal times, it all starts with the parents.
Absolutely. And so, we want these kids to be able to play these games, and we say they're games. This is where they're building young men and young women for the future, and they're building their character, and they need this. And like your son and my daughter, who got their senior seasons cut short, and they'll never be on a field again, possibly. That was a big learning experience and a maturing experience for all those kids. They didn't ask for it.
No.
It just happened all of a sudden, and you know what? It was something they had to deal with, and they had to learn to deal with it. And I'm proud the way that a lot of them did deal with it.
And that's part of the reason they needed that closure with that graduation ceremony, is because a lot of the things that they had only known up to that point in their life was gone.
Right. And my son was even saying, I haven't seen so-and-so since March or something like that, because it closed the door on friendships too, because they couldn't see him, and then they went to school.
Yeah, and not only with the friends and stuff like that, but for myself personally, I haven't seen the inside of my office since March 20th. I've had to work from home since March 20th, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that are in the same situation. I know a lot of the USAA people that live out here, they haven't been back into their office either. So, it's a lifestyle change right now. We hope that we can get past all this COVID and this pandemic and move on with our lives. But I think in the long run, there's going to be a lot of things learned from this.
It's going to be better
for it.
Life will be better because that we all had to go through this. And that's not to diminish that we've lost a lot of loved ones and friends and family. For example, Coach Sonny Detmer passed away yesterday. Nobody expected him to go like he did. He was still the head football coach at Somerset High School. And I spoke to his son Ty yesterday, and it was just, he's been battling some health problems, and it happened. But you never anticipate something like this happening, and you learn to deal with it. And when it, you do what you can. And we hope that this all moves on and we all learn to live better lives because of it.
Well, this Friday, there's going to be a lot of coaches getting back into their office, and there's some coaches right now already been in their office on the court, and they're happy to be there. You can just tell that they're happy to be on the court.
And we're lucky to have the community we have, because a lot of us have been able to still go out, and we have a wonderful golf association here that we've all been allowed to still participate and get together with our friends, and we social distance. There's 4 to a box. It's just stuff like that the community rallies around each other. And, just like the district itself, Dr. Orbach sitting right here, I can't give him enough kudos for what everybody has went through and the way that we're still moving forward.
Yeah,
it's great.
And we're privileged, and there's a lot of families that want to come in our district or our school district for that reason. I mean, we've accolades last year go on and on how well the school district did, and not just in sports, academics, and all the above.
Just keeping everything going.
Yes.
I mean, Dr. Orbach can speak for himself. The last time we were on the air, Jeff and I were talking about getting a text from him overseas saying how good the softball was coming through. He was listening to it. He had to quarantine himself when he got home because of this COVID. I mean, he was on the front line when all this started, so he knows what it takes to make everything go.
I think the last time we were on air was back in March
21st.
Yes,
when you and I did the baseball game,
Yep.
Jared, and it feels like years.
Yeah,
it really does. And when I did the first volleyball game a couple of weeks ago, I mean, I was rough. I hadn't spoken like that in a while, and it took a while to get adjusted. It seemed like a long time. I'm just happy it's here again.
And one of the things to me is, like, here we are, the end of September. We should have had 4 or 5 weeks of football already. It doesn't feel like fall to me because I wasn't watching college football on Saturdays. I wasn't doing a broadcast on Friday nights to do games. It really just didn't feel like it was that time of year already.
You weren't watching your Astros cheat.
Oh, Jesus.
It's
no, I wasn't.
Definitely a different time, and let's hope we don't have to go through this again.
What do we got for picks? Who was our champion last year?
I believe that was
Jared Lucky.
Jared Lucky.
Yep.
He didn't start too well, and he finished strong.
I think Jeff was last.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, I know he was.
I like picking upsets.
There ain't too many big games this week.
No. Well, then it's
Texas Tech and Texas.
That's not a big
That's
game.
not a big game.
Texas State and Boston
Who's
College?
going to win that game, Jeff?
I'm going against the line.
No. Well, yeah, sure. What is the line?
18.
18?
That's not enough.
I'll take Tech at home in the Jones.
Well, I put all that together, and I didn't do it this time. I was running late. We had a minor emergency at the house that I came in late, so I don't have a lot of it.
Well, at least you weren't one of them that were stuck in the traffic coming home from Highway 90,
Well,
which they said was.
I was
so.
stuck in that too, and I got home and I had to help my wife pull a goat. So we had a baby goat right before broadcast time. So everything's good there. So that was.
You got a brand new family member.
That's right.
Here, we'll look real quick here. Here's the games this week. Well, that's been canceled. So
and we even got Dr. Orbach here. He can add in. He can join in this picks for this week. He can be the guest picker.
There really aren't any real good games. You got Oklahoma as a 27.5-point favorite against Kansas State.
They'll cover.
That's in Norman.
Ole Miss and Florida will be a decent one.
Oh, that's the.
And Auburn and Kentucky, they're both in the top 20.
Ole Miss, that's the.
That's the old ball coach.
The Pirate.
Yeah.
I'll take Ole Miss.
Yeah, Florida's got Florida 14-point favorite. Then, Kentucky at Auburn. Auburn 7.5.
Hey, there's a good one. Army and Cincinnati, top 20.
Yeah.
Kentucky, Auburn.
Yep. Kentucky, Auburn.
And then you got Louisville and Pittsburgh.
24 and 21. Go with Army and Cincinnati.
Yep. Army, Cincinnati. We got to do Texas and Tech.
You got to do A&M and Vanderbilt.
Yep.
And you got to do Miami and Florida State just because they're rival.
Hey, you know what one of the good things is, though, about the SEC only playing the SEC? They can't play the Citadel and the Little Sisters of the Poor. They have to play decent competition.
Tech did last week and they almost lost.
Yeah, how about Clemson played the Citadel? That's terrible.
Ain't that an Army school or something?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Who does UTSA play?
Middle Tennessee, I believe.
Yes.
And they're 2-0.
Yeah.
UTSA. I think they actually got 3 votes to be in the top 25 this week.
You mean there's 3 ignorant people?
Yeah, apparently.
Texas State beat themselves again.
Texas State should have never came back.
Okay, who do we got, Dwayne?
Oklahoma at Kansas State.
No, it's in Norman.
Okay.
And that is Oklahoma's a 27.5-point favorite.
So we're going with the line?
Yeah, that's what we did last year.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yep.
I'll take Oklahoma.
I'm taking Oklahoma.
OU.
Yep.
And the doc?
Of course.
OU?
All right.
It's unanimous.
What's next, Dwayne?
Kentucky and Auburn.
Kentucky, Auburn 7.5-point favorite, and it's at Auburn.
Kentucky.
Auburn.
With the points for me.
I have Auburn.
I have Auburn.
Well, we're going down the limb. Louisville and Pittsburgh.
All right, that is at Pitt, and Pitt is a 3-point favorite.
Pitt for me.
I'll
I'm going to have to go with Pitt at home.
Yeah, I'll take the Panthers.
I'm taking Louisville. Army, Cincinnati. Was
Okay.
it Army or Navy that
It's
lost big last week? It was Navy, I believe.
Navy. Army's 2-0.
Okay.
Navy came back and won.
It was 2 weeks ago. Then they got it handed.
Before they were down 24 points and come back and won.
What's the line?
Cincinnati 13.5-point favorite at home.
No way. Army.
Yep.
Army. Going to shorten the game.
Yeah, for sure with that offense they run. I'll take Army.
Doc? Army across the board.
Across the board.
They're playing UTSA this year. Army.
Yes.
They got thrown on
They
their
picked
schedule.
that up at the end there.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
18 points.
Is it 18?
Yes.
Yes.
I got to go with Tech like I do every year.
Hook 'em.
Yep. Texas.
It's Texas, TT. Doc?
I'm an Aggie, so I don't know if I can go for either one.
No.
But Texas will win that game.
Maury, what did you say?
Texas.
And I will say Texas also. Texas.
What? Y'all all took Texas?
Yes.
A&M and Vanderbilt. A&M at home.
A&M is a 31-point favorite over the Commodores.
Vanderbilt. That's way too many points. And there's only going to be
A&M will cover.
15,000 people in the stadium, so it ain't going to be like it's a home field.
I'll take A&M.
Vanderbilt.
Sadly.
What's the spread?
31.
31. I
Yeah.
will go with Vandy.
Come join me, Dwayne.
It is a lot of points.
Miami, Florida State. That's going to be a good game. What are the rankings there?
Miami's 12, Florida State's 0-1 and unranked.
Unranked.
It's at Miami and they're 11-point favorite.
Miami with De'Eric Craig that transferred from Houston.
I'm doing Miami also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida State for me. Too many points.
Let's go.
Game.
Say Florida State.
Doc takes Florida State too.
Yep.
UTSA, Middle Tennessee.
Hold on, I got to go to Conference USA here.
Right there.
Yeah, UTSA, it does not have a line on them.
Oh, no line, huh? That's because of COVID. I'll take Middle Tennessee since they're at home.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. It's at the Alamo Dome.
Yep.
Middle Tennessee is 0-2. UTSA is 2-0.
Oh, well then that's a straight bet. I'll take UTSA.
Yeah, well, this is just a straight win or lose. UTSA.
UTSA.
I think that's going to be across.
No.
No more.
Yep.
Middle
Tennessee.
What's the line? Oh, there is no
There's
line.
not a line on here.
I'm going with the Blue Raiders, baby. You went with the Red Raiders. I got to go with the Blue Raiders.
I'll take UTSA. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games.
All right.
That's good.
Let's do
Yep.
it.
That's a good start.
High school games y'all want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll take Medina Valley.
We got to have the final score, right? Don't we do-
Yes, we do have to have the final score.
Well, let's. You want to look west and talk a little bit about the other team?
No.
Okay.
That was a resounding no.
I don't want to hear about Uvalde.
The Honey Bowl?
Uvalde's only one.
We don't have to go to the Honey Bowl anymore, thank goodness.
Medina Valley.
Okay, here we go.
They sat up top.
Medina Valley.
top of the press box?
21.
Medina Valley and Canyon.
Medina Valley 21, Canyon 0.
21-14 Medina Valley.
21-14.
I'm going to say, oof, that's a rough one.
You can't go against Medina Valley.
No. Well, I mean, you could, but you might get knocked off the air for that. I'm going to say 17-14 Medina Valley.
Oh, we still have the good kicker?
We have a new kicker.
We have a new kicker.
Oh, all right.
Did he come from the soccer team, too?
Bobby Peterson.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
He kicked for, yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying 20-13.
And, Doc?
I'm going to say 21-14.
Oh, hey. There you go.
All right, there it is.
And I'm pitching a shutout. Come on, guys. They ain't going to score in our vaunted defense.
They were 0-10 last year, and it's the first game. They're going to want to play.
Canyon was 0-10.
They were 0-10.
This was fun, guys.
Yeah. It was.
Nope.
I'm just glad that we were able to do this again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Again, it was March since the last time we've been together doing anything.
Here.
Gotta make an announcement. We have technical difficulties we had earlier, but we're going to ask those same athletes, those same student athletes, we're going to have them back again maybe next week so that we can talk to them again, because I'm afraid a lot of parents and a lot of people wanted to maybe we'll skip a week or something, but we'll bring those same kids back again so that we can make sure that we hear them and get them on the air.
And let me reiterate, we have video for games coming up. So Friday we have live video broadcast for volleyball and live video and broadcast for football. So if you're uncomfortable about going out to these games right now, go buy that cord and an HDMI cord and hook it up to your computer and put it on the big screen. I know some volleyball people have been doing that, and they're really happy with it.
And it's just one simple cord.
It's
the HDMI cord to your computer, to your TV, and if you got a
there you go
100-inch TV,
if Maury can do it, there you go. Anyone can do it.
I didn't say I could do it. I just said that's what you said they needed to do.
Yeah, it's not difficult. Get it hooked up. You know, if you have a smart TV, go straight to your smart TV and get going. Or if you got a laptop or something, you can plug it in. But you can get it on the widescreen. Like I said, it's a lot of people have been doing it for the volleyball games, and they're really enjoying it.
Because I don't even have a computer at home.
That doesn't surprise
work
me.
Off your phone.
What time?
Yeah, tickets are going to be first come, first serve if you're going to go out to the games. So,
what time will you be on Friday? What times will you be airing?
it is a 6:30-ish because the JV's playing. So
Okay.
it follows the JV. It's scheduled for 6:15, but typically it's around 6:30, and we like to go on air about 15 minutes prior.
Okay.
But if you go to the link, Jeff does a real good job of putting the video on, so you know that that's the game, and it'll say pregame, and then you can just watch a little bit of the warm-ups, and then we'll come on the air when we think it's about 5 or 10 minutes before it actually starts. But you'll get live video about 15 minutes before the game starts.
And the football broadcast and the video, one camera for the whole field, or how is that gonna?
Well, yeah, and what we did this year, Maury, was we had to hire a producer,
right?
Somebody that understands the new system that we're putting together, and we were fortunate we didn't have to go very far. Mr. Sam Alanese works with the Medina Valley ISD, and we've hired him so that he can produce this new system, and he's familiar with this new system that we bought.
So what you're saying is
and,
a cut and pay for the rest of us?
No.
Yeah. So everybody else has to take a little deduction. That's why you're having tea paid for right now. No, but
he does good work.
He does good work, and
but what I'm saying is, don't expect it to be like.
It's not going to be a Sunday. You're not going to have a little. You're not going to have a deal going over the field and hovering over the field and seeing the.
Well, I thought you were going to get a drone. And
no,
just
we're not
sit
getting a
up there.
drone or anything like. Sam has a drone, but we're not going to do that. But no, it'll be right now. I'm thinking a single camera, but hopefully
they will
we
be
can
able
go
to see it. I
yeah,
mean, yes.
Yeah. And
okay.
as the season goes on and we get more comfortable with the whole system, we'll add some sideline footage. We will be able to do some sideline video.
You're going to be the roving reporter, or what?
I may be, or I may have to hire Clint Moduling or somebody that's always down there. But we will have somebody, possibly down on the sideline doing something.
Well, if you want to get a good idea, just go to our YouTube channel and go back to last year and look at some volleyball. Where we had the cameras up, and you can get a good idea. There's still, the links are still up there. You can still.
Yeah, no, it's going to be better than that. It's going to be better than that.
But my suggestion is you get somebody that has a little bit better legs than Clint, and have them down there maybe doing.
How about Janine,
roving reporter? That would work.
Okay, or Glenda Joe. We got there's a lot of people we can get. No, but we're going to try to do some sideline stuff to make it a little bit more interesting.
Right.
We're planning on having one camera, but we're going to kind of look at it tomorrow and kind of figure it out. We may actually have a tight and a wide version, so we may do something like that also with two cameras.
Okay.
But something that maybe that two people, that one person can operate. But it will be it'll be different. It'll be neat, and then we're going to try to do the best we can to provide the best broadcast we can for the fans. Because I know not everybody's still comfortable. I know a lot of people that aren't comfortable going out in public still. So we want to make sure that we can provide this for them and have something for them to be able to watch on a Friday night.
Yeah, well, we want to thank our sponsors for doing that too, for sponsoring the programs.
Speaking of sponsors.
So sponsors for tonight's game, our title sponsor for the Sports for Supper, Medina Electric. Then we have Tanya's Travel by Design, Valley Mart and Royce Grove Exxon, Peerless Equipment, Tondra Gwynn Funeral Home, and Sammy's Restaurant and Bakery. And also thank you to Sammy's for letting us do these broadcasts here. We appreciate that, and it's great. We've been doing it. This is our third year doing these here.
And if you want to be a part of Sports for Supper at Sammy's, contact Jeff Stivers at 830-931-4504.
Yeah, and you're welcome to come out and be a part of the.
You can sit and join us here.
Yeah, you can be a part of the show. Sit out here and watch us do. I don't know if you really want to do that, but to see what we do.
Well, they're actually closing in 15 minutes.
Yeah, and
we got to get going.
So Dwayne will be on around 6:30ish with the volleyball on Friday night. 7:30.